Let's start at the beginning. First, I was a high school dropout 10th then GED college level. 10 years later, I jumped into college taking 18 semester units and a 3.75 GPA. I was given a real wake-up book to read, it about threw me across the room too, and woke up the sleeper. 2 weeks later, I was confronted with the devil trying to turn me, in a public toilet. Next, I'm driving through the Santa Cruz Mountains winding and twisting roads, to San Jose, California. I'm really tired. Then down a country road, late at night to my girl's house. I nod off to sleep, I wake up, thinking I'm hitting the picket fence, down the road another block. I bashed my head on the steering wheel, sliced the lower left side of my chin open 3 inches, to the bone and 2 places on my right cheek, to the bone needed stitches, too. Bashed my knees into the dash, trashed the seat I was sitting in, hard to walk for weeks. I was depressed for about 3 months after. When you see what is behind the green door, who wants to come back? You cannot just take your own life, it's all about learning, to love all and our God. The engine in the car was pushed back about 6 inches, I could not open the driver door, from where the car hit the telephone poles. The nurse and her husband, standing off to the side saying, "What are we going to do with the dead man, in our yard?" I come back and he is running to me saying, "You cannot get out the driver door. We have to talk, you were dead." Blood all on my face and running down onto my clothing. The hospital wanted to keep me overnight and I would not tell them any more than I had to. 3 days later I'm out of the hospital and back in class. People sometimes ask me how long was I there with Christ. All I can really say is, by your time or by God's time. I was there a long time, with Christ. I also hit an 8-inch by 8-inch post throwing it though the people's front picture window. The car was flying at about 65 to 70 mph flying over the embankment landing on the first telephone pole, on the right side of the driveway and rebounded to the next telephone pole, on the other side of the driveway, rebounding again. I am watching all of this, I'm out of my body. The car is in the air clipping off a large tree branch 10 inches around. Then the car takes a left turn and the front bumper sunk into the lawn 12 inches from the house, brick wall. It was a beautiful clear night, you could see all the stars bright and clear. The first telephone pole was the moment I was thrown out of my body. Watching the car turning and twisting I was saying, "Is it time, is it time?" A voice came from somewhere, saying, "No, it is not time. No, it is not time." At this same moment, I was shot through a tunnel of light. I was standing before Christ, the light behind him, was so bright, you could not look at with human eyes. He told me, "No, you must return for this reason, you will have a son born unto you." 3 years later to the very day my son Julian was born. Christ showed me my whole life, the good, the bad, and all the rest. Then Christ said, "That is all right, life is a learning experience." I was there for some time and Christ showed me much during that time. Some I was able to bring back with me. Christ gave me a message to tell all. Christ said, "Tell them they must learn to love all that is around you. They must learn to love our God or return to this world and live life all over again. Or they will lay down next to sleeping waters and drink from thereof." The best part is, the love of God, you have more than one chance to learn to love Him. And for me I don't have to come back to this world, again. Not because I have saved 5 people's lives from death over the years. Only but for the love of God, I do not have to come back here again. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, I had 3 best friends, I was the leader. We were always together. You see the others were right there too. One day I had to go to the doctors. My friends Mike, Tim and Jerry, called to me, "Come play." No, I had to go home. The next day I sat in a swing on the playground alone. I called to the teacher and asked where my friends are. She stooped down and told me, they dug into a pile of sand, it fell in on them, and they all died. Yes, why was I not there, too? Or was there another real reason I lived and they all died that day? Over the years, I have become a known artist, of Christian and Surrealism, Southeast Asia, California, Florida, Michigan, and Russia. 30 years an auto technician and the doctors tell me my time is really short, 65 years old and terminal, tick-tock. Death is the last thing I fear. I have had much time to think, I will opt to come back only to help others, to see the light of giving to others. All of these events have changed my life very much. When the sleep first woke up, I could have gone right or left. When you get a wake-up call like this, everything changes to the right direction of life. My wife being a medical doctor, at first she did not want to believe. Now this is a different story.